for?" The boy didn't even look back, and the man's face went scarlet. "Go on! Keep running!" he bellowed. "See how far you get without me! You'll never amount to anything without training. You'll be worthless alone! Worthless, do you hear?" "Shut up!" The boy's voice was distant now, his figure scarcely visible between the trees, but his power still thrummed in the air. Trapped by the vines, the man could only struggle uselessly as the boy vanished at last into the gloom. Only then did the power begin to fade. The vines lost their grip, and the man tore himself free. He took a few steps in the direction the boy had gone, but thought better of it. "He'll be back," he muttered, brushing the leaves off his robes. "A night in the wet will teach him." He glared at the vines. "He'll be back. He can't do anything without me." The vines slid away with a non-committal rustle, mindful of their role in his barely contained anger. The man cast a final, baleful look at the forest, and then, gathering himself up, turned and marched back into the tower. He slammed the door behind him, cutting off the yellow light and leaving the clearing darker than ever as the suspended rain finally fell to the ground. The boy ran, stumbling over fallen logs and through muddy streams swollen with the endless rain. He didn't know where he was going, and he was exhausted from whatever he had done in the clearing. His breath came in thundering gasps, drowning out the forest sounds, and yet, now as always, no matter how much noise he made, he could hear the spirits all around him. The anger of the stream at being full of mud, the anger of the mud at being cut from its parent dirt spirit and shoved into the stream, the contented murmurs of the trees as the water ran down them, the mindless singing of the crickets. The sounds of the spirit world filled his ears as no other sounds could, and he clung to them, letting the voices drag him forward even as his legs threatened to give up. The rain grew heavier as the night wore on, and his progress slowed. He was walking now through the black, wet woods. He had no idea where he was, and he didn't care. It wasn't like he was going back to the tower. Nothing could make him go back there, back to the endless lessons and rules of the black and white world his father lived in. Tears ran freely down his face, and he scrubbed them away with dirty fists. He couldn't go home, not anymore. He'd made his choice. There was no going back. His father wouldn't take him back after that show of disobedience anyway. Worthless, that was what his father had written him off as. What hope was left after that? His feet stumbled, and the boy fell, landing hard on his shoulder. He struggled a second, and then lay still on the soaked ground, breathing in the wet smell of the rotting leaves. What was the point of going on? He couldn't go back, and he had nowhere to go. He'd lived out here with his father forever. He had no friends, no relatives to run to. His mother wouldn't take him. She hadn't wanted him when he'd been doing well. She certainly wouldn't want him now. Even if she did, he didn't know where she lived. Grunting, he rolled over, looking up through the drooping branches at the dark sky overhead, and tried to take stock of his situation. He'd never be a wizard now, at least not like his father, with his rings and rules and duties, which was the only kind of wizard the world wanted so far as the boy could see. Maybe he could live in the mountains, but he didn't know how to hunt or make fires or what plants of the forest he could eat, which was a shame, for he was getting very hungry. More than anything, though, he was tired, so tired. Tired and small and worthless. He spat a bit of dirt out of his mouth. Maybe his father was right. Maybe worthless was a good word for him. He certainly couldn't think of anything he was good for at the moment. He couldn't even hear the spirits anymore. The rain had passed, and they were settling down, drifting back to sleep. His own eyes were drooping too, but he shouldn't sleep like this, wet and dirty and exposed. Yet when he thought about getting up, the idea seemed impossible. Finally, he decided he would just lie here, and when he woke up, if he woke up, he would take things from there. The moment he made his decision, sleep took him. He lay at the bottom of the gully, nestled between a fallen log and a living tree, still as a dead thing. Animals passed, sniffing him curiously, but he didn't stir. High overhead, the wind blew through the trees, scattering leaves on top of him. It blew past and then came around again, dipping low into the gully where the boy slept. The wind blew gently, ruffling his hair, blowing along the muddy, ripped lines of his clothes and across his closed eyes. Then, as though it had found what it was looking for, the wind climbed again and hurried away across the treetops. Minutes passed in